Hello?
Good day, Mr. Bryden.
Miss,
I'll
stop you there. I know what you're going to ask. No, I haven't changed my mind. There'll be no digging here, lass.
Mr. Bryden, allow me to explain. There has been an astonishing development this morning.
Yes?
My father was with your brother during the excavation.
Oh.
Yes. Can you believe it? I had no idea he had been here.
The answer's still no, lass. I saw what happened to poor Samuel. I won't risk the same happening to anyone else.
But...
That's enough now.
He's being a good guy.
Hobble to your heart's content, but there'll be no digging.
Well...
the smell of damps.
Let's take another look at this. A-R... I-A-W.
No, that's not it.
Smack this... Okay.
I must gain Mr. Bryden's permission to...
Throw the rock at it.
No, that won't work.
Darn it. Okay, so if we go back to here... This is about where we saw that child run to. Or I thought we did anyway. Okay, I guess maybe not. Or maybe we have to head back this way. Oh,
Excuse me, sir.
that's Shoulder.
Yes?
Did you see a young girl with blonde hair pass by here?
No, lass. There you are. Are you Thomasina Bateman?
That's Shoulder.
That's my name.
How marvelous. It's me, Leonard Shoulder.
I knew it.
Heavens. I'd given up on finding you.
Please take a seat, Miss Bateman. We have much to discuss.
You've proven to be quite the enigma, Mr. Shoulder.
I'm mortified. I offer you 1,000 apologies. You see, I've been bound to me bed these past few days with a terrible fever.
How dreadful. I take it you're feeling better now?
Aye. I were on me way to find you when I stopped here to catch me breath. I've not much go in me these days.
I'm sorry.
The other guy did say that he was like
I were worried you'd
dying.
have given up on me and left town.
I had no idea what had become of you, Mr. Shoulder. I spent a good amount of time pounding on your front door.
I'm embarrassed. I really am. I've been doing my best to sleep through the fever. I am so very sorry. Please accept my apology, Miss Bateman.
Fine, Mr. Shoulder. I've come all this way. Let us speak of the business at hand.
Marvelous.
I've just learned that my father was part of a previous excavation of Hobbs Barrow some 25 years ago.
I
You mentioned this in your letter.
suspect
What?
he's not a
Where
good
did you
guy.
hear that?
I have my means.
I swear, Miss Bateman, I had no idea.
I take it you will also deny delivering me my father's journal?
I'm confused. What journal?
My father's journal was slipped under my door at the Plough and Furrow. It wasn't you who did this.
I've been bound to me bed, lass. What an extraordinary coincidence. You are following in your father's footsteps.
It would seem so, Mr. Shoulder. Why did you invite me to excavate Hobbs Barrow?
I've always been curious about the colourful folklore surrounding the place. My father told me all sorts of stories about it when I were a wee fellow. Stories that some folk around here take a little too seriously, especially after those lads entered the Barrow a while back.
How did you know about me?
I saw your interview in the Bakewell Times. A young lady travelling about the land, digging up barrows. Perfect for the job.
But why do you wish to excavate the barrow?
I want to see what those lads found in there. My curiosity has grown over the years. Now it is time for the mystery to be solved.
I must say I am rather eager to find out what's in there myself. I've managed to find Hobbs Barrow, but Mr. Bryden is yet to give me permission to excavate.
Is that so? Keep trying. He'll relent eventually.
Perhaps you could have a word with him.
Oh, no. A lovely young lass such as yourself has a better chance of changing his mind than a shaky old goat like me.
You told me in your letter there would be no issue gaining access to the Barrow.
I didn't foresee any when I wrote to you. I'm sorry this has been more complicated than anticipated. Don't give up yet, Miss Bateman. Keep trying with Mr. Bryden.
Did you know my father?
I don't believe so. What's his name?
William Bateman. He was in Bewley for at least a few days, from my understanding.
I'm sorry, lass. The name doesn't ring a bell.
Well, you know about the excavation, but you don't know about her
no idea
father.
of my father's involvement in the previous excavation.
I don't believe him.
Sure. A most fascinating coincidence, but nothing more than that.
I'm starting to wonder if it's more than mere coincidence, Mr. Shoulder.
Miss Bateman, I did not take you for a credulous individual.
None of the sort.
I mean, I saw you outside the Plow and Furrow and in
What
glove.
can you tell me about the previous excavation of
Proved
Hobbs
you
Barrow?
were there.
Oh, it was 25 years ago, or thereabout. Back then, Bewley were
This is
undergoing a
good
period
music,
of
by the
great
way.
strife. Samuel Bryden hadn't harvested a single crop for 2 seasons.
Whoa.
Even Hernwood was sick. Berries went to rot almost as quickly as they grew. Folks started to believe the ground were blighted. Disease spread through the livestock too. People were going hungry, a panic set in.
That sounds terrible.
Aye, but I managed to keep myself fed. These things happen in nature, but the blame for it all fell on Hobbs Barrow. It was long said that a goblin made his home there. Rumor took root that the goblin were not best pleased with the villagers. In revenge for some unperceived slight, the goblin placed a curse on the soil itself. The villagers believed that ridding the Barrow of its lodger would put an end to it all.
Hogwash. My father would have paid no heed to such tales.
Whether it were his intent to join the excavation when coming here, I do not know. But whatever it were that Samuel Bryden and those lads did inside that barrow, people say it did the trick. The crops started to grow back, and health returned to the livestock. Bewley were no longer in the grip of dark forces. You must understand.
I see.
Folk here are a superstitious lot. They don't want you disturbing whatever it were those lads did. As far as the villagers are concerned, the problem were fixed. The thought of another excavation must be conjuring panic that you'll undo whatever it were they did.
This does
Okay.
explain a lot.
And it's also why I'd venture nobody around here wants you to touch the place.
Except for you.
I want to know what's there.
Surely you don't believe these tales of goblins and curses to be true.
Not at all. However, I suspect those lads did find something in the barrow. But did it have any connection to failing crops and dying livestock? No. I can assure you there's nothing to fear. Coincidence reigns supreme.
So what do you think they found?
That is for us to discover, Miss Bateman.
Who was the third man who joined my father and Mr. Bryden on the excavation?
I'm afraid I don't know. Although I'd heard about the excavation and I were intrigued by it, I mostly stayed at home during that time. The atmosphere in the village was rather too tense for me liking. And besides, the excavation were undertaken with an air of mystery about it.
I don't trust all of what he says. Some of it does make sense, but other parts of it not so
Tell
much.
me more of this folklore you mention.
It is said that Hobbs Barrow is home to a goblin.
A hobgoblin.
Everyone in Bewley has some version or another of this story. But the version my father told me as a child described the Barrow as a thin place. The goblin were deemed to be the guardian of this so-called thin place.
A liminal space. So basically, like, it's a place where the Fey realm and this world kind of are as thin or
Tell me
something.
more about this goblin.
Some said he were a mischievous little mite, snatching newborn lambs and smashing windows with pebbles. Others said he were friendly, there to lend a helping hand in times of strife. The latter of
Probably
which
both.
makes it all the more surprising as to why the previous excavation took place. My father's stories put the goblin in the mischievous category. Saxnot, he called the creature. I
Saxnot.
recall one such anecdote, that Saxnot entered Bewley and ordered a pair of boots to be made by the cobbler. However, when collecting them, he insisted on paying for them with a bag of sow's teeth. The cobbler was so scared of angering the goblin that he accepted.
A colourful tale indeed, Mr. Shoulder. Has any explanation been offered for why this Saxnot cursed the soil?
Your guess is as good as mine, lass.
What is a thin place?
A place where one can walk between worlds, where the flesh meets the spirit world.
Pour my spirit out, pour my spirit out.
Of course,
Yeah.
as you will know.
I had a peculiar dream last night. I met a creature at Hobbs Barrow. I suppose you might say it was a goblin. It told me it had saved my father from trouble inside Hobbs Barrow. I'll admit the coincidence of this is somewhat astounding.
A remarkable coincidence, but nothing more than that.
But there is still one thing that puzzles me. The goblin told me proof of its claims would await me in the morning. Surely enough, I awoke to find that my father's journal had appeared in my room.
Very queer indeed.
Mr. Shoulder,
The
you
goblin,
invited me here
I think,
to a town I'd never
uses
heard
the
of,
cat to keep an
only
eye
for
on
me to discover
things.
that my own father was here 25 years before. And not only that, but that he was also embroiled in some sort of superstitious hysteria which goes against everything he ever taught me. Something is wrong here. This must be more than mere coincidence.
It's strange, I'll give you that. But please remember who you are, Miss Bateman.
He's trying to keep us on the rational path, even though all the clues are pointing to irrational stuff.
This is my father's journal.
Incredible. Can I look inside?
You may.
Look at these drawings. Wonder what it all means.
You and I both. It all feels very out of character for my father.
I'm sure you'll find the answers beneath the soil, Miss Bateman.
What do you make of this strange stone?
A carving of a cockerel?
Yes, it was strapped to my father's journal. Do you think it could have something to do with the previous excavation?
Possibly, though I'm not aware of the motif having any meaning around these parts.
I mean, there's plates with... Oh, I
I've been
see.
looking all over for that. Where did you find it?
In the alley behind the plough and furrow on the night of my arrival. Were you there?
As I say, I've been
We've been
bedbound for several
bedbound,
days,
except that we
Miss
saw him.
How odd.
Bateman. Can I please have it back?
Here.
Thank you. We're peas of the same pod, Miss Bateman. I knew you wouldn't be frightened by a few old stories. It will be interesting to see what those lads found in there.
Certainly.
Thank you so very much for responding to my letter and for coming here. We have some great discoveries to make, you and I.
I sincerely hope so.
You and I.
And a chance to follow in your father's footsteps.
Yeah, this is sounding like too good to be.
Shifley's old bones.
Too good to be true.
Spot of the plough and furrow. I'll be there all night should you need me assistance.
Thank you, Mr. Shoulder.
I'm sorry again for giving you the runaround. I promise I am not beyond redemption. I won't let you down again. See you soon.
I was starting to wonder if Mr. Shoulder even existed.
Very weird. So that was all weird and interesting and stuff. Let's...
The day was starting
Oh.
to test me. The word
Only just starting?
coincidence felt insufficient to explain what was happening. It was after that first conversation with Leonard Shoulder that I started entertaining thoughts of a truly irrational nature. What if my dream wasn't just a dream? What if it was all more than simple coincidence? What if that thing really could help my father? Good day, little one. Hello? What's this? A fiddle bow? There's no string. My name is Thomasina. What's yours? Don't be shy. I don't mean you any harm. What are you doing out here all alone on the moors?
It's a wild child. Or a
Do
fae.
you live here?
It's a little fae child raised by
Would you like me to fix
mushrooms.
your bow so you can play your fiddle again?
Yes. I think that's a yes.
Hey! Most peculiar. Perhaps I can mend the bow for her. If memories of my childhood violin lessons serve me right, bowstring is made from animal hair, coated in a waxy resin. The strings don't vibrate without it.
It's usually horsehair, right? Do we have? Okay, we have resin. Fiddle bow. But we don't have any string, so that's something that we need then. Okay.
Mr. Shoulder told me he'd be at the Plough Farm.
Oh, so he's not here. Now we can really break in.
That is not coming off.
Darn it, I need like, I don't know. I know there's a knife in there. Okay. That guy. I guess I have to talk to the jerk that I don't want to talk to. Because I'm worried that they're thinking on like saying that like, oh, she likes him, but he's probably a jerk. And I say no.
I believe we've met.
Miss Thomasina Bateman, the famous antiquarian.
My reputation precedes me.
I can assure you it does.
And you are?
James.
He's Lord Pansywick. He's Pansywick.
Are you a painter?
You see this beck before you? Look at the water. See how it tumbles and falls. I seek one spot on which my eyes can rest. Be it a stone or a small corner of the current. I meet it with my gaze. And out of the tumbling and falling, a new land rises. I see a new world.
You certainly have the eloquence of an artist.
Okay.
What are you painting?
A new world.
Quite the ambition.
Indeed, my ambition knows no bounds.
Can I see it?
Not yet. It's not finished. Such a world is not complete without you in it.
You flatter me, James.
Nonsense. Say you'll let me paint you.
Why not?
Magnificent.
Sure.
You shall be the shining star of my new world.
Okay, I don't like
I don't
that
really have
part.
the time now, though. Perhaps later?
Don't fret, my dear. When the time comes, I shall call on thee.
Capital. What do you make of this stone?
It looks antique. You might want to keep a hold of it.
Yeah.
Do you know of Hobbs Barrow?
I'd like to know more about you, Thomasina.
Yeah, good deflection
When do you like
there.
to rise in the morning? How do you like your tea? What makes you happy?
Kicking your ass. I want to do this one because I do not like him. But he might give me more information.
Well, I like to rise early and watch the sunrise.
With your husband, I'm
Oh, I
sure.
see. I see what this
No,
is.
I'm currently unentangled.
Such a view should be shared with at least a lover.
Do you deem yourself fit for this position?
Oh, I see.
Indubitably. But do go on. How do you like your tea?
Hot, with just a splash of milk.
No sugar, of course.
No sugar.
It rots the teeth. Your smile is as dazzling as the Himalayan snow.
Oh, James.
And finally, what makes you happy?
Spending time with my father.
I should like to meet him.
Perhaps you will. And you, James? I propose the same queries to you.
All in good time. My truths will surround you in good time.
Do you know Leonard Shoulder?
A man of Bewley?
Yes.
I care not for the men of Bewley.
Oh?
Only for the visitors.
What do you know of Lord Pansywick?
Yes.
A fine gentleman. Now that is someone who commands respect.
Yeah, okay, he's talking about himself. Arrogance.
No, I don't think anyone can really claim that. But what a tiring subject. Shall we discuss something a little more exciting?
Goodbye.
See you soon, my dear.
I should have lied and kept him away, but he's definitely that dude. Anyway, we've met the jerkwad now.